Oh, I think we're live. Yeah, we're live. Right, hi guys. It's Nick with Zaheer, and I think we've got Hixxy with us again as a special guest.
Hello.
Yes, it's our Thursday show on a Friday, just to be a bit different. So, how are you guys doing? All right?
Pretty good, pretty good. Bit slow at the moment, I've got to say, in terms of eBay sales. Listings going really well for us, though. Just getting over 600 odd listings, 620 odd listings now. So, moving in the right direction. Just plodding along.
How about yourself, Steve? How are you, mate?
All right, mate. Yourself? Good.
Yeah, good. We've only just got back from Cambridge. We've been away for our anniversary. We've been married 10 years, so we went away for the night.
Have a good night.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah. Had a few drinks and a meal out, and
Cool.
Just got back here.
you can imagine.
I can still see you've got the swanky shirt on as well underneath the.
Well, I took this to go out in last night, and then forgot I had it, so I put it on today. But I've got my common looking hoodie over a smart shirt. It's just how I roll.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Evening to was it already Chelsea, Joe, Anne, Les, Tommy. Hello everyone. There's 20 people already in there, so thought I'd pop in and.
Well, that's cool. I wasn't sure how many people would have seen my messages that would delayed it, so it's good that people have found us.
Yeah, definitely. So, topic-wise, we're actually trying to be a bit organised today. Is that right? Is this what I've heard? Is it?
Yeah, we're attempting. We thought we'd have a vague direction for our ramblings today.
I think that's a good idea.
Something that Tom touched on when we had Tom on the other week was how much stock is too much stock, which coming from Tom was quite an interesting question because he is the stock master. He has more stock than you can imagine. So I know you're almost, would you say, struggling to get enough stock. Is that where you're at, Zaheer?
Weirdly, yes. It's the first time it's happened, but I think that's just thanks to Rebecca listing like a champion. And we're now at the stage where we need to find more. But I don't necessarily think it's because of lack of availability. It's just, I wasn't expecting to run out as quickly as we have. But there's plenty out there, so it shouldn't be difficult to kind of get the backlog up. And I think that's the key. It's like you can easily build a backlog of stock up if you're not careful. Even from the position where we're now in, where we don't have masses unlisted, we've only got a few unlisted bits. We could pretty easily, after one weekend of boot fairing or something, end up with quite a bit of stock, if you think about it.
Do you feel better now that you've got pretty much all of your stock listed, or were you more comfortable when you had a backlog?
I felt more comfortable when I had a backlog.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
what about yourself, Steve? What sort of position are you in with stock? I know you list yours really quick, so I guess you've got it all on. Is that the case?
Yeah, 99% of it's listed. I like to don't have any backlog. I hate having it because it's playing on my mind. I like to have everything listed. Everything I buy has to go on as quick as possible. I've got about 20 items that I've got unlisted, which are like bitty things. But it's like they'll be on tonight and tomorrow. And then I can go out in the morning, fresh load of stuff, get it home, process it, get it done, and it's out of my head. I just like to. I think it's just sat there. It's not selling, is it? I've invested that money. I want to turn it around, so I've got to get it on as quick as possible. I know there's times where like over the winter and that, it's nice to have a backlog of stuff, but I can still get stuff through the winter anyway. I'm not too fussed.
I think the thing is, though, Hixxy and Nick, I think I'd like to have enough stock where I can constantly be listing and still have a massive pile of it somewhere. Like, just get so much stock. Like, in a way, I kind of envy Tom now when I think about it, and yourself as well, actually, Nick. You're not exactly short of it.
We're not short stock. Well, as you know, because we've been trying to get the shop going for the last year and a half. I haven't really been concentrating on eBay, but that hasn't stopped me buying ridiculous amounts of stuff. And now we're coming out of the shop. It's dawning on us how much stuff we've got. So yeah, we've probably got a year's worth of listing behind us.
I've seen your backlog, Nick. It just makes me ill. It makes me ill. I couldn't go.
I've got crates stacked up about 7 foot tall, and I don't know what's in half of them. It's just it's just mental. I've also got a lot of stock because I've been listing the quality and the fast selling stuff and the more valuable stuff as I've got it. I've kind of put on the back burner all the average stuff and all the not so great stock. So I've got crates and crates of stuff that's not that great, but I'm just going to have to plough through it all and get it all on. I'm super pale. I've got the light there, and it's just like I'm a ghost at the minute. One extreme or the other in me.
It's that tiring night you had last night.
Can I just say we've got let's move it away from there. We've got 51 people watching, 8 thumbs up. Thank you for all the nice messages. Joe Scott mentions that all Hixxy seems to do when he's round my house is drink. It's probably a fair assessment.
He had a hot dog. He made me a hot dog last week.
Yeah, he had a hot dog. Yeah, I made him a hot dog.
I eat here as well.
Yeah, he's a welcome guest. Who wouldn't have it?
Sorry, I was just going to say, is that any better? I'm not quite so bleached out.
Yeah, that's a lot better. A lot better. Dave 420 says boot fairs tomorrow, lads. Bargain time. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? When you know there's a boot fair on, you kind of have to go, even if you don't need the stock.
Yeah, it's hard.
You can't just leave the stuff there, can you? I mean,
no, it's hard not to get out of bed and go. And even if you don't want to go, some mornings you get up and you're praying it's raining outside, and it's like nice.
And then you still
you have to go.
But even when it's raining, I go because I'm just like, even when it's raining, I'm just like, Northerners are a lot more hardy. Like up here, like I think was it last week or the weekend before? It was raining heavily, and I know for a fact every boot fair down south would have been closed, and pretty much every boot fair up here was closed. But there's this one boot fair that they just don't care. They just open whether it's raining or not. It looks and people still turned up, and they fought through the bad weather, and it actually became a decent boot fair by the like 8-9 o'clock.
I went back to bed.
I just can't
get up in the rain or cuddle up back with my wife. I just did that.
No. Rain every.
What's the weather looking like up your way tomorrow? Then are you both going out?
It's iffy, isn't it?
I've not looked.
Yeah, I think it's meant to rain, but I think the rain's not meant to start until like 9-10 o'clock.
Really? I've not looked.
So
it's gorgeous now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous at the moment. It's clear, so it might. I think it'll be okay for our purposes, to kind of do that. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that's hard to leave, isn't it? A boot fair, especially when there's only a certain amount of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what I hate. I hate lying there in bed if I've chosen not to go, and the thought that my competitors are out there getting stuff. That's my motivation half the time, is the getting stuff before other people. It's like a competition, you know what I mean? And the thought that people are out there grabbing bargains that should be mine. It's how it goes on in my head.
Yeah, it's completely understandable. It's one of those things that you kind of, because it's so valuable, because that it gives you that comfort, like you said, having the stock there, even if you're not going to get around to listing it all in straight away, it's always going to be nice to have. So
yeah, I mean, going back to the initial question, is how much stock is too much? I think I'm right at that level where I have too much stuff, because it's distracting and it's almost overwhelming. It's got to that level with my backlog now where I find it hard to focus. You know what I mean? The task is so great. It's like, where the hell do I begin? So I'm just looking forward to cracking on with it without the distractions of the shop and everything else. Going back to eBay. We'll be doing Amazon still, but I can juggle those two with ease. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to cracking on with it and reducing the pile, and getting some clear focus on it, because it is truly overwhelming.
I'd say more of an accurate reflection would be how much backlog is too much, because stock is not an issue. I mean, you'd have 5,000 items as long as if they were listed. I mean, obviously, if you've got 5,000 items unlisted, there you've got a problem. But I think it's more of the backlog issue rather, because I'm sure you're going to still be buying, aren't you? I mean, you're going to end up at boot fairs and indoor fates during the winter and jumble sales, and it doesn't stop.
Hell yeah.
The thing is with backlog as well, your backlog will be different to mine. A lot of your stuff's fast selling, isn't it? You know, really fast moving. Where mine, most of my stuff I can put on, and it can take 6 or 7 months to a year to sell. So I think it's important for me to get all my stock listed. It's no good sat there, because when I do put it on, it's not going to sell straight away. But your stuff, you can put it on and it's boom, it's out the door. You know what I mean? So having backlog like that is probably a good thing, to be fair. But for me, it's like specific items and old crap items like that are going to take out forever to sell. I just have to get them on. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't have any fast moving stuff really. Very little of my stuff's fast moving now. So,
yeah, well, it's more like Ken's model, isn't it? I mean, Ken has ridiculous amounts of stock, but the vast majority is listed, whereas I have quite ridiculous amounts of stock, and I'd say 75% isn't listed. But yeah, I know what you're saying, Steve. Yeah, a lot of my stuff is quick selling. Oh, who's had a ka-ching?
There's nothing major. What is it? Oh yeah.
It's funny you were saying. Go on. What was it?
That's just a DS.
A DS.
Yeah, DS game. Nothing major. I'll be able to buy a big pack with it. Yeah, I mean,
funny, you were saying. Sorry, we keep talking over. You were saying when we came on that your sales have been a little bit slow. Our sales over the weekend while we've been away have been really good, actually. Amazon's ticking along well as well, so yeah, quite surprised because I don't have much listed.
Bank holiday weekend seemed okay, but the last couple of days have been really slow. Like bank holiday weekend was really good, and I think Tuesday was probably okay, and then it just seems to have gotten a bit slow last couple of days. But it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? So you can't always expect it. Some people may have had a busy bank holiday, some will have had a quiet one. Just all you can do is I kind of see that now as a window of opportunity to build up the inventory, just to get more stuff on, because obviously one of the good things about listing is obviously you sell more items, but at the same time it slows down how quickly your inventory grows as a whole. So I'm not too fast. A bit, but it does bother you, because I won't lie. I mean, you just have a couple of slow days and you start thinking, oh my god,
Yeah, but when you look over the month,
yeah.
I always look at it over a month.
Exactly.
You can't let a couple of bad days.
I'll tell you what I have noticed. The last week's sales, probably getting on, but somewhere between a third and a half have been on GSP. Have either of you seen a lot of international stuff going on?
I had days where if I wasn't selling abroad, I wouldn't have gotten any sales. And further to that, I have had days where I wouldn't have had any sales if I didn't ship abroad outside of the GSP. So, yeah, I think having GSP is, but I would recommend that as long as you're confident in your packaging and shipping, add will post worldwide. There's an option which says will post worldwide, but contact buyer for details. That way, when someone buys something from you, they're not going to be able to pay just what you're asking. They have to wait for you to send them an invoice with the shipping cost. Obviously, sometimes that means that I've had people buying who don't want to pay the shipping, and then it ends up with the item in limbo with unpaid items. But that's a small price to pay considering how many more people you can reach.
Yeah. So. Do you do your own international shipping, Steve, or you global shipping program?
Just global shipping, mate. I've done it about a year now, and it's that's all I do. Yeah, I don't get involved with doing my own shipping abroad, but yeah, it's been good. It's been good to me, the GSP. I've had quite a lot, probably 25-30% of my sales are GSP. So for me, that's great.
Yeah.
I say this week.
All the time for me.
Yeah, it's just no hassle, is it? I know Ken does his own shipping abroad and that, and other people do. You do a bit, don't you? But if they don't want to buy it on the GSP, I'm not interested. I like that, having that cover. All I've got to do is get it down to South Normanton, wherever it is, and that's it. It's at my own.
I know the address by heart. GSP Shipping Centre, 1 Langham Park, South Normanton, Derbyshire, DE55, 2GF. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. No, I mean, I give you an example of that, actually, just to chime in on that. If someone wants your item badly enough, they will pay the extortionate, in some cases, extortionate prices. In a lot of cases, GSP does compare favorably if you're looking at tracked shipping. If you're,
Yep.
you've got to compare like to like. Obviously, if you just compare GSP to like Royal Mail Economy, where it takes them 56 days to ship it and there's no tracking, obviously that might be cheaper than what GSP are charging. But GSP will get it to them quickly and, you know, door-to-door tracking. And if you do that, it's pretty reasonable. But there are some cases where they charge like a massive amount. But people, if they want the item badly enough, will pay. I mean, I actually almost questioned a customer, like, because a guy bought a tuner off me for a hi-fi, a radio tuner, a Yamaha one, and he lives in Australia, and he paid, I think, 30 quid for the tuner, and I'm pretty sure the shipping was something like 40 or 50 quid. And I was like, you know, he didn't pay up. And so I sent him a polite message saying, hi there, I'll ship the item as soon as as soon as I receive payment. Alternatively, if you wish to cancel, because I just assumed, you know, he's seen the GSP shipping, he hasn't noticed it during buying, and he doesn't want to pay like 50 odd pounds, whatever shipping. He messaged me back like a bullet saying, oh no, sir, I definitely want it. I'm just gonna have money in the morning. You can't get quality tuners. So something that's really abundant and worthless here. I mean, I think I picked this up for like a fiver. Tuners don't cost a lot. They don't tend to cost a lot. Sold it to this guy abroad, but the key is I sold it to this guy abroad in Australia. If you're going to buy a tuner and expect to get 30 quid to a UK seller, to a UK buyer, you're going to struggle, because then the demand's not there. You know, you have to sell to it.
I'll tell you another advantage I like about selling through GSP is we sold quite a few toys and bits recently, and a lot of those have been going to Australia, I think, and America. Like Andrea listed a Barbie doll which sold for £25, one that she picked up for 25p, which is quite a result. And normally I'd send that recorded if it was domestic. Anything over 20 I send recorded, not because I think it's going to go missing, but to stop people claiming it hasn't turned up. That's why I do recorded. So when I send to GSP or to an Argos, I don't even bother with the recorded. I'll charge the recorded rate and then just send it normal, because I know it's not in Argos's best interest to claim it hasn't got there, you know what I mean? And the GSP centre aren't exactly going to claim it hasn't turned up when it has. A bit of money on that.
Yeah.
You guys do the same.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I tend to. That's why I tend to use Hermes though, because you know it's included.
Oh yeah.
That negates that for me in a way. But yeah, I see your point. I mean, by the way, we've got 90 people in there now, so you know, hello.
Have we really? Wow, 90 people on a Friday.
90 people.
They've got nothing better to do on a Friday night.
Friday evening. Well, maybe they're getting ready and, you know, to go out.
Yeah.
Leonard Armstrong says, hi guys, good to see the show back. We're only one day late, so that's good. Leanne Lakin asks, have you got more storage in the new house there? Yeah, definitely, a lot more storage. Yeah, I'm happy with that. David Morse asks, did you guys get in on the Disney Infinity clearance at Tesco's? I didn't, because it's not my thing. But no.
I haven't seen any. I haven't really been doing any RA. I haven't had the chance. I have bought Infinity stuff in clearance before, but haven't been out looking, to be honest. Or is it online? Drop us a comment and tell us if it's online. If it's online RA, I might have a look tonight.
What else have we got here? Yeah, David Tesco still doing deals. Okay. Rocket's Madness asked, hi lads, wanted to ask, I followed you all and done really well from your tips. One thing rarely mentioned are bad pickups. Any of you had any experience of bulk stock you struggled to sell? That's a good question. Bulk stock that you struggled to sell. Have you had anything recently, Nick?
Not recently. I did buy a load of a particular Monopoly game about a year and a half back. It was reduced massively. I think it was in Argos. Can't remember which one it was now. But the thing was, it seemed there was just a glut of it everywhere, and I did the waiting game on it to a certain extent. Prices just weren't rising at all, so I just cashed those in pretty much for what I paid to get out. And you can still get this particular one cheap all over the place. I think it's called My Monopoly.
Is it the one where you put your? I was about to say, was it the one where you can put your own face on it? They don't give you.
Yeah, I think it's just awful, and everywhere is still discounting it. So I got out of those for what I got in at. You know what I mean? Just to get rid.
Out.
But with RA, that happens, and sometimes, you know, there's no shame in getting out quickly if you decide this isn't working out, and you just cash it in for what you paid, or even take a small loss. Just then you've got the capital back to reinvest somewhere else.
Yeah.
Longer waiting game, but that was one where I could see it was going nowhere. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think that's I think like when it comes to bad pickups, it's becoming rare because of like having so much information at your fingertips. So it's not necessarily like, again, for me, I wouldn't say I've had a bad pickup. I think I've made like a few bulk buys recently, which maybe I shouldn't have done in terms of a timing aspect, rather than you know, the stock's going to pay off, but it's not going to pay off yet. So, you know, I've kind of, maybe I should have not spent that money there, because now my money's tied up until, you know, Christmas basically. So, you know, it's something to bear in mind. So I wouldn't say it was a bad pickup, but, you know, just mistimed.
Yeah. I tell you, I bought a job lot of I can't remember if I shared it with you guys, of Pokemon key rings. They're quite big package things in a Pokeball. I spent 80 quid on 40 of them, and I've not sold one yet. And this is at the peak of the whole Pokemon Go thing. So I'm thinking, well, mind you, I've listed them really quite high. Bit of a fail yet. I've not sold a single one of those yet.
like you said, Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming, yeah, we'll be fine.
When it comes to toys, that's what it is, isn't it? David Moss, Zaheer, have you gotten into reselling clothes? I've always sold clothes, but not in a massive amount. I used to do it a lot more earlier last year when I was doing them at auctions.
Yeah, you had a lot of shoes. You had a lot of success with shoes, didn't you, actually?
And it was clothes as well. I used to get pallets of bags of clothes and jackets delivered. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I haven't recently been sourcing them at boot fairs and things, but I think it's something I'm going to look into now, because it's a really easy way of increasing inventory, and they're everywhere. So I probably will look into that.
Something I'd like to ask you guys, because I've for a while been struggling with I use a listing program called Garage Sale, because I use Max, so I can't use Turbo Lister, etc., etc. But I've really gone off it recently. I've been struggling because it's got bugs, and so I've been experimenting using the eBay app on my phone, listing through that, and also listing direct through eBay using the whole sell similar thing. And I found that it's so quick and easy these days compared to, because it's been years since I've listed direct on eBay much. So I've found just using eBay is working for me, using the sell similar thing. Oh, I've just had a sale. So yeah, how do you guys list? Do you use the eBay app at all, or programs? What do you use?
That's all I use, mate. I usually use my iPad mini with the eBay app, and I do all my listing through that, and it's brilliant. I use a photograph on that first. I'll sit down, do 20 photographs or whatever, photograph 20 items, and I'll go and sit in the living room just start listing away, and you can get them done in an hour. You know, unless you know, I struggle sometimes. It takes a bit longer if I'm researching an item, you know, but I just do that. And then if it's something I've never sold before, I just sit there, find one that's sold, looks all right, sell similar, bang me photographs. Everything's done on my iPad, the job lot. The only thing I use my laptop for is for my Hermes tickets. That's it, really.
Yeah, sell similar is fantastic, because a lot of my stuff, like you were saying, it's fast moving, it's common. There's going to be 100 of them on eBay, whatever it is. Most of the time, I do some collectible stuff, as you know, but a lot of it's common. So I'll just find one that somebody sold, use the sell similar, all the pre-fills. I check that they're okay and they make sense. But all of that work's pretty much done. Quite often the title I can just leave. I might add some keywords or tweak it a bit, and then I'm pretty much done. Take my own photos, which if I'm using this, it's a case of point and click. And it's that much quicker than using the listing program, which I used to use because it made things easier. But I think technology's caught up these days. So using your phone or your iPad, it's the way forward, I think.
It's brilliant. That's the way I've always done it from the start. I've just used my iPad. I find it so easy because the cameras are brilliant on them. Just, you know, I mean, like you say, you just find cell similar. Everything's filled in. Add the photographs. Couple of tweaks, done. 2 minutes, done. Next one, boom. You know, do 20 an hour easily. It's easy.
Yeah, I did dabble with Turbo Lister a while back, but I found it to be too glitchy. I'd find that if I was to, I think it was something I would do on it would mean it would delete photos from my listings randomly. And so I stopped using that, and I went back to just using online. And the way we work now is, I mean, Rebecca as well, she prefers using the desktop. I like using the desktop. Just from a comfort perspective, you've got a nice big screen, nice keyboard and mouse, and you can really, like, the online interface that eBay has is really, really good now.
So you are just listing direct on eBay? Yeah,
directly on eBay, and Rebecca loves that as well. I mean, I think Caroline's another big, well, no, she's an advocate of using desktop. I mean, she uses a program, she uses Auctiva, but she prefers desktop. And I think working on the desktop for me, well, currently more for Rebecca because she's the one that's doing a lot of the listing. I think it just gets you in the zone for sitting down and listing. Whereas I'd be worried if I was on the iPad. Like, you can do it because you've got that laser focus when you get working. You know, you've obviously got that kind of OCD side to you. Me, I'd get like lost. I'd end up looking at like funny cat videos or do you know what I mean? Like, I'd find so many better things to do than to list on the iPad. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's easy.
Like, I know it is for you, but not for me, honestly. I've got
open YouTube.
I don't open YouTube. Easier said than done. That is, Hixxy. Easier said than done. But yeah, I mean, everyone's different, and I think you've got to learn what kind of a person you are very quickly.
Yeah.
And for me, I think sitting at a computer just makes it can be hard as well because I can load up games, but that's why Rebecca's listing, actually. Let's just cut to the chase. That's why, because
you need to slap you.
I've got the attention span of a gnat, honestly. I just can't.
Well, do what I do. It's hard to focus sometimes. What I do, I go, right, I'm going to list 10 items. So I grab the 10 items, stick them on the photo area, photograph them all, and go, I'm not doing nothing else. So I've got these 10 items listed. Then I'll go and have an hour or something and do something. So I'll sit down and I'm like, oh, right. And it's hard work, you know, sometimes. Once you get going, 10 items, right, 2 more to do, 10 done. Right, it's 10 items uplisted. I'll go make a brew, go and watch telly for an hour, something, right, I'm going to do another 10. And if you do that 3 times a day, it's hardly any time, you know, all, and you've got 30 listings up.
That's why Rebecca's so valuable to the business.
Exactly.
Because she
you
can
just spend too much time.
No, I do. I'm good at photos.
Cats.
I'm good at taking photos. I mean, that's my thing now. I'm the photography master, chief photography officer.
I like to do it at night a lot of time. A lot of listening at night. You know, I'll go to the auctions or something. I'll come home. She'll go to bed. I'll have myself a takeaway. I'll have that. I'll like be looking for all my junk I've bought, and then I'll just work till like 2-3 o'clock some nights. Dead quiet, radio on. Well, you know, you see me do it. I send stupid videos. but you know, and I get it done. You know.
Well, I used to do a lot more. I have a lot more flexibility with time. Okay, gone. Oh, there's the echo again. Bollocks.
Sit away.
It must be your end because the picture's gone.
Yeah, the picture's gone a little bit fuzzy.
I think it's all right now. But yeah, because once we split the business, so that went down to where the shop was. I found once I came home, I don't have the stock here. I can't really list. I tried doing a bit with taking photos while I was there and then listing in the evening. So moving forward, when all the stock's back here, I can list in the evenings if I've got a few hours. I can be much more flexible with my time, and that will help so much with getting the numbers up. Because I used to list late, you know, do research late, just pop in the office, do half an hour here and there, which I haven't been able to do because it's a case of driving down to work and where the stock is. So that's going to help moving forward.
Okay, got a few questions coming in. We've got 98 people, or 99 people watching and 26 thumbs up. So thumbs up would be much appreciated, guys. And thank you everyone for for popping in and watching. We're going to see if we can get through a few questions. Nick, what do you reckon? Because we're a half hour through now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very overcast here because I'm disappearing. So if it starts raining, I'm going to disappear indoors.
Duncan Naylor asks, do you draw a wage each month from your profits, or do you take what you need when you need it? In my case, at the moment, it's what we need when we need it. There's no wages because we're not earning enough money to actually say, you know, here's an actual paycheck, as it were. And plus, I think a wage would be more kind of apt if we were doing it as like a limited situation, isn't it? Like in terms of your tax, because we're just like, you know, sole traders, partnerships, it doesn't work in quite the same way. But I don't take like a wage, it's just what I need when I need it. What about yourself?
I do the same. Yeah, I just take what I need, you know, when I need it. I have a job where I do 2 days a week for my mate. That pays me bills just about, and I just take a little bit out of PayPal every week or every month. Fancy a night away or a night out or whatever, I'll just bang 100 quid out of there, and that's it really. I don't pay myself a wage as such. Yeah,
we don't tend to take a set amount. It's kind of ad hoc really, as and when. It's really dark here now.
Yeah,
I'm fading away. But yeah, it's kind of an as and when thing with us as well, to be honest. It always has been. I'd rather leave the money in the business if I can, because that's where it's needed more. You know, there's no point in me taking out a load of money if I don't need it and sit in a different bank account. You know what I mean? It's better off to have the stock available for the business. I mean, the money.
Yeah. Tommy21 says, would you have any tips on selling vintage and obscure cookery books? I cleared a house and ended up with them. Research, really. Some of them are worth a lot of money. I know David McGregor has mentioned doing well with vintage cookery books. And if you look on eBay, you'll quickly see some vintage books, depending on their age, going for some pretty good money. I mean, I'm talking like, you know, kind of kitsch 60s, 70s style books going for decent money. So, you know, just research is the key to that one. Marty Beanie asks, what are your plans for picking up stock once the boot fairs are over? Ride out the winter or regenerate through some other means? Nick, before you fall into darkness.
Yeah, I'm slowly disappearing.
There's
a few around here that pretty much keep going. So there's some that if it's going to run all year round pretty much. Then there are charity shops you can snipe off eBay. Facebook is year on year getting better and better to source stock. There's Gumtree, which in my area is pretty crap, to be honest, but I know a lot of people source on there. It's got to be creative. If you need stock, you can find it. Wow, it's dark here now. Look at that.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to...
What's happening down there?
Yeah, it's getting pretty dark.
The mad thing is, it's not dark. I'm sitting here in daylight, but it's this stupid webcam. It's just because it's become overcast. Crazy.
Joe Scott shouted out, is it a lot cheaper to live up north? I've got to just quickly mention that comment because I had this lovely surprise. Yeah, well, yes, it is way cheaper. I live in a bigger, nicer house for a lot less money. But not just that, I had a really lovely surprise. I've been putting off calling my car insurance company. So I called them up to change the address, and my car insurance dropped by like 250 quid.
Wow.
Just for being here. That was it. Yeah. So yes. Okay. Buxton May asks, what are the best books to pick up from car boots and how much can you get from them? That's quite an open-ended question. You've got to do your research, scan them.
Yeah, most books aren't worth bothering, aren't even worth looking at. And a lot of them you can only really make sensible money bundling them. It's a huge area, and there's no shortcut. It's just a case of scanning or learning. And cuts in this game, let's be honest. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you what books to look for, the same way I couldn't tell you what computer games to look for.
I mean, the other thing is, when you're picking up book bundles, you've got to be aware of what your space situation is like. I mean, books are very, they're very available, obviously. They're at car booths, they're at charity shops. But they take up a lot of room. If you start getting collections of books together, even ones that are valuable, like, you know, you often see people as doing Lemony Snicket or Harry Potter. If you get a big bundle of those together a few times over, you're going to be short of space very quickly unless you've got a lot of space. So, you know, you got to think, what else could you fit in there that would do better for you, or, you know, that's my opinion on it. Okay, let's have a look. What else to do? Yeah, Marty Beanie says, I noticed international has picked up loads over the last couple of months. Maybe something to do with Brexit or the pound drop. Caroline's in the chat, says hi as well, so that's good.
Hi, Caroline.
Happy Chap 84 questions. Zaheer, have you had any specific electronics training to fix problem items, or do you just have a bash with the screwdriver and solder gun? Happy Chap, that's actually a good question. I think there's a misconception that I will take part and fix electronics. I won't do that unless it's really worth it, and even then, I can't see myself doing it. I buy electronics because I like them, but if they're faulty, I sell them as faulty because I haven't got the time to be messing around with a screwdriver and solder gun. You know, it's not always going to be worthwhile. I've just recently, just this week or two, I think I've sold a faulty mini disc deck, a faulty CD player, and people have still paid decent money with shipping on top and are happy with their items. So I don't necessarily, you know, I think that's another interesting topic, isn't it? Like how much time do you invest into what you pick up? I mean, that can even apply to board games. You know, how long are you prepared to wait to complete a board game before selling it, or a Lego set, or whatever, you know?
Yeah, the other thing I think repairing electricals is you've really got to know your stuff. I wouldn't trust myself to repair something electrical and then sell it on.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, if the seals are broken, if there's anything which has got tamper kind of points on it, you know, you don't really want to be messing with anything like that, really.
No.
What were you going to say, Steve? Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's about the electricals. If I buy anything electrical and it doesn't work, I just carry it outside and straight in the bin. I just move on. I just take the hit, the £2 or £3 hit, and just throw it away because I don't even sell it spares, you know.
Yeah. Okay, by the way, this issue with me using this webcam, we're almost at the point where I'm going to move all my Mac equipment home. So I think next week will be the last week where I'm dodgy tech guy. Hopefully.
Never mind, I can't even live stream at home. I had the guy out to look at the internet, and I just can't, because I'm 1,000 meters away from the box. 0.5 is the max I'll ever get at my house upload. So it's like anything I do live, I'll have to come around his house and use his internet.
They can't improve it at all then?
No, the only thing they said they could do is get Virgin Media, which they run the cables past your house there, but I checked on the Virgin Media website.
They're not there.
Not even here.
No. That was one of the first things I checked, was the broadband speed. Like before we even met with the landlords to agree terms and things, I already knew what the download speed was going to be, and the upload speed. Yeah,
the upload speed. I mean, your upload. I mean,
you can't on BT though. I mean, maybe it's because you're far away from the cabinet.
That's all it is. The cable, and then 1,000 meters. I mean, I'm a mile. You're a mile from my house, and you've got 20.
I think my cabinet's like there.
The road here, you know.
Yeah, so you know,
It seems mad to me that the last mile has that much effect.
I know, but he did say to me, he said you might be better just going back to normal broadband for the upload speed rather than the fibre optic, because he said when the fibre optic starts to drop off, it does drop off. He said where the broadband just gently drops off, where that's probably why I'm struggling now with the photos uploaded onto my iPad really quick. When I didn't used to, I maybe had a better upload speed, but I don't know. Download's not brilliant. It's about, I think they've got it up to 16 now. It was 10 or 11, but the upload they can't do anything with it. Pain in the arse, can't do live hangouts or nothing. I have to move my house myself.
Okay, we've got 111 people in the chat now, so that's Pretty awesome. Got a question here from Darwa Boy who says, question for Nick. I'm 16 years old and I sell some things on eBay. What do you think about me sourcing from charity shops? And he lives in London. You got any advice there for a young budding reseller?
Yeah, go for it. If I was well, echo again.
It's okay.
How's it doing? Hang on. Right, is that better? I think that's working. Yeah, I was going to say, if I was 16, I'd be doing this now, I think. Just have a go at it and learn as you go.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
What do you guys say?
You okay now? Is it still echoing or?
Yeah, could you hear that okay?
I heard you fine. Yeah, we heard you fine. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, the quality is terrible now. I'm just disappearing.
Oh, here's a good comment. Nick looks like the G-Man from Half-Life. I like that. That's good. That's a good game reference there. Craig Jones asks, do you guys set yourself an amount of money per hour's work to decide if something is worth buying / listing? No, I can't work it out like that.
You can't.
I go for the whale plankton approach. Just open your mouth, let all the stock come in, and then just sell what you can. I don't think I'm that organized that I could ever work out to an hourly point what something is worth.
You can't do it. You can't. It's impossible.
You can't do
it. If you're going to start working it out that way, you might as well give up, because it just doesn't. When you're working for yourself like that, you can't put a price on it.
If I was to work out price an hour, it's going to be below minimum wage.
I've got to move, guys, because it's raining.
You can't do it. I've seen a few people say like...
Yeah, you'd be below minimum wage for the good first few years of you doing this. You know what I mean? Like, just building up. What's that?
Sorry, yeah.
All right, I've got no light in here at all.
Yeah, it's very dark. It's very dark. Christ, yeah.
I'm doing a hangout with a caveman.
This is underneath.
This is so funny.
You've not got lights in your house.
This is the tech clusterfuck in effect. Yeah.
It's got a candle burning up there in the background.
Wow, that's actually not bad. Just about, but when Nick comes in, yeah, that's actually not bad. That's actually really good.
Lead on the floor with a couple of candles.
It's you've been in my house here. I've got lights. I'm not in the dark age. It's just this.
Has got light.
Webcam.
Confirm there is.
Look up here. There's a great big strip light.
Oh god.
And it looks like it's a candle.
I can't wait until you get the laptop sorted out. We've dropped to 102 watching now. That's probably because of not being able to see you, Nick.
I'm not surprised. I don't blame them. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Like I said, the whole tech issue is going to be much better. Once I get my decent Mac in the new office here, we'll be fine. Exactly.
There's a bunch more questions to go through. Let's have a look. Oh, LGG says, nice shirts are here. Thank you. It was meant to be for resale, this. It's got a really cool Canadian Mounties logo on it. And it's like made in the US. But it's my size now. I've grown into it. So it's mine now. Bernard Armstrong asks, question, do you guys sell incomplete board games and do you make a profit? I don't sell incomplete board games, so can't answer that question. No, not incomplete. Nick, do you sell incomplete board games?
Sometimes, yeah. If it's a game with enough value that a few bits here and there don't affect the value too much and it will still sell, then yeah. But I try to complete them where I can. I've also broken down board games and sold them for parts, but I've not done that for quite a while. There's not much money in it, unless you've got a really rare game that people are itching to get the pieces for. I try and complete them if I can.
Paul Cook asks, what's your guys' strangest eBay encounter? Strangest eBay encounter?
Mine were that feedback. I don't know, people might have seen it on the Christmas tag video I did last year, and it was that feedback I got off that woman about that slant mug. I don't know if you remember that. When she went into a story mode about selling it to
a yeah.
Still freaks me out, that. The fact she lives just down the road freaks me out too. But yeah, I won't go into the story, but it was on my Christmas tag video. Got some weird storyline off this woman about her daughter had got drunk with her boss and gone out and gone to some transvestite bar and met a couple of gay lads and got kicked out of it and all this lot. And it was like, I just wanted to good feedback or bad feedback, please. Really, that was my strangest story with that. Like, no, that's it.
I can't remember anything off the top of my head. I always find it funny though when you get messages from people from abroad and they've used Google Translate and they say hello dear to greet you. I always find that quite funny. But I mean, there's nothing.
Especially on a man.
Yeah, it normally is. You know, like it's normally someone from like Russia or somewhere, and you know.
I had someone who liked the item and that, and then he left a comment saying, "But I enjoy reading the newspaper that you screwed up to package the item more." Something like that.
Yeah, I had that once. Somebody loved the fact that they got some UK newspaper to look at. Yeah. I do love when you get a message from a foreign person, you stick it in Google Translate and it comes out just hilarious. I should save them actually or share them on my Facebook.
I think
Not had one for a while.
I've had a few of them lately and I'm like, I've only just found this Google Translate. I think one of you lads told me about it. And yeah, I just like copy and paste it into the translate and I'm like, I still couldn't understand it when it was in English.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Caroline says, look, surely not being able to see Nick should increase viewership.
What? Caroline?
Only kidding.
I'm deeply hurt.
That's a quality comment. And her strangest eBay encounter was meeting us lot in Hitchin.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that. The meetup.
Yeah. But you survived, Caroline. Only just, but you survived.
Oh, we've had the comment in. I've got to read it out. Elaine says Nick should pay his lecky bill. Oh, I was waiting for it.
Everyone's a comedian.
Oh, love it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, 104 people watch. Another thing I wanted to actually touch on. I mean, I know we talked earlier about the how much stock is too much. And I was wondering, just like for the last few minutes of the chat, if we just talk about adapting to your surroundings in terms of finding something. I mean, me and you were actually just touching on this earlier as well about how what traits you need to show as a reseller in terms of adapting to your surroundings in order to find stock. So, for example, if you live in a certain area, are you able to spot? Would you say that when you live in a certain area, are you able to spot certain things are more available or more prevalent than if you lived in a different area? So, for example, people that live in the southeast apparently can find higher value items or on a more regular or a more consistent basis. So if you don't live in the southeast of the country, if you don't live around London, what can you do about it? Any views on that, Nick?
I don't know. I think the stuff is everywhere. I mean, we know. I mean, Caroline, for example, is down in Devon. You guys are up north. None of us have had any issues finding stock, and I think the stuff I pick up is available everywhere. I do get a lot of comments, to be fair though, on my hauls saying I seem to find a lot of media. I seem to find a lot of sealed media. But the thing is, I look damn hard for it, and I go to a lot of boot sales, and I go to a lot of stalls. I go to a lot of charity shops. So I think that's more persistence than it is luck. But I think the stuff's everywhere. I don't know if you guys, I mean, you're perfect examples here. Have you seen a big difference in stock or the availability going up north? I think you've already said that there's more than enough stock up there. So,
I mean,
what would you say on it?
Something that Hixxy actually brought to my attention was, for example, trainers. I did used to see a lot more footwear cheap down there, and I've got to admit, actually, since you've mentioned it, I've noticed I'm not seeing as many pairs of Converse but then again, saying that, I did pick up a pair of Converse for £3 at a charity shop down the road. But at the boot fairs, I'm not seeing as many Converse or Nikes or things, but I'm seeing other things. So it does balance it out, doesn't it? I mean, what's your opinion on it? I mean, you've been there, you know.
Well, same thing really. I mean, I've never really noticed the way I watch like Joe gets loads of trainers, you know, and quality trainers at the prices he gets them at. It's like you can't do that up here. You know, I've seen Nike trainers up here what he gets for a £5 down there, and someone will be asking 30, 40 quid for them on the car boot here. You know, it's very rare I pick up any quality trainers. You know, and it's always been the case. That it's never been good. And if you do start picking up Nikes in Blackpool for like £5, 10 quid a pair, they're not real. Guaranteed they're snide. You know what I mean? They're not real. And I know a lot of resellers who have bought them thinking they are real and they're not. They've had issues when they've sold them, and that's just Blackpool. You know, it's 90%.
I mean, you might not see as many Nikes, but what I would then say is because of the way the area is, because it's more of an, I suppose, because you've got like the outdoors here, you've got some like, you know, a lot of people go walking and hiking. You're going to pick up. You're going to pick up different. Exactly. You're going to pick up. It's differences, isn't it? It's differences in. Also, you look at the demographic. You know, here you've got a lot of people that have lived here for many, many years and have accrued crap for many years. So I found that you find a lot more older stuff up here.
Yeah.
Like down south, you weren't finding nearly as much, and if you did, it was priced high because it was more likely to be like a dealer. Whereas up here, everyone's got old stuff.
Yeah.
So I think there will be exceptions, and Joe is a good example. He lives in London, quite central, and there's a lot. It's a very affluent area, and I think the turnover of goods there is perhaps that much quicker. You know, they might buy a pair of Nikes, about wearing them for 6 months, and then buying another pair. Whereas certainly, even in my area, and I'm not that far from London, I don't see anywhere near the quality of shoes that Joe does. But I think it's an affluence thing. So there will be exceptions to the rule, but the stock is everywhere and you can pick up the same stuff. But I think generally the stuff's out there, and you just maybe have to think a little bit differently.
You do. You've got to adapt the location. It's like here, you know, this is why I've added over the last year towards a lot of vintage items, because there's an abundance of it here. Vintage and antiques in the north is just like common everywhere. There's thousands of it. So obviously I'm going to look in the area. I'm not like, if I lived on the Isle of Skye or something, I'm never going to pick Nike trainers up all day long. You know what I mean? I'm going to pick up anchors and bloody buoys off boats and stuff. You know, so obviously the areas you live in are going to be different. You know, if you live by the coast, you're going to pick up a lot of boat stuff, surfing stuff, anything. You know, where if you live in the city, you're going to pick up a lot of tracksuits and bloody trainers and stuff like that. You know, it depends where you live in the country, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
And I think persistence, like you mentioned, you look really hard. You said you look bloody hard, and you look often. And I think persistence is the key. I mean, just the other day, me and Beck, we took a break from being indoors and we went out to a couple of places. We must have gone to about 20, 30 charity shops maybe. And in most of them, we didn't get anything. But we came away with a couple of really nice items, which made it all worthwhile. It was like a good day's work in the end. But had we not persisted and carried on, we could have walked away maybe from 25 and thought, oh, that was a waste of time. 25 shots, we didn't get anything. But the fact that you go as far as you can, and you know,
but you'll find it. The longer you're up here, you'll find that you'll start adapting to the area, and then you'll be showing, instead of showing these, you know, well, you might still.
No, these are from here.
You know, you'll be showing more like these sort of thing.
I love that. Yeah, that's really cool.
What the hell's that?
It's an Associated British Hat Manufacturers Limited hat, and they're no longer in existence, are they? So it's old, and it might be cool. Some hipster might want it. Yeah.
Well, I think it is quite often a numbers game. That suits you, mate. Actually,
my fat head. So big, he's, you know.
Well, yeah, you going about sealed meat
before we left? Go on, Steve. Sorry, mate.
No, sorry, mate. No, I was saying when you were talking about, you're always showing like piles and piles of sealed media. You know, up here I couldn't find that amount of sealed media up here. It's impossible. You know, it's totally impossible. So this is where people are watching you and finding they're looking for some of the stuff you're showing, but they're struggling. But they're not in this, you know, they're not in the same areas as you. They're not, they've got to adapt to their area and find what's what's working, what sells, and there's abundance of in their area, and go on that. Even if they don't want to, it's tough. Unless you're going to travel miles and source it from all sorts of different places in your area, you've got to sell what's available.
I mean, I've not been here long, but anywhere you go, you're going to see the same kinds of people. And I've been to a couple of boot fairs where I can tell you who the game guys are, the guys that are running around all morning, looking for anything, video or video game or toy related. I can already tell you like the toy guys are, and you'll get that wherever you go. And I think it's your job to be able to see the value in that and that. Don't just limit yourself to one thing. Become knowledgeable in as many things as you can, and that will always help. I think it suits you better actually. I've got so much hair on my head. It's just when I haven't got I'm in one of those moods where I'm not going to get my hair cut for a while.
You need to pick up one of the Flyme or hedge cutters. Never mind picking bloody fingers up.
So
I was going to quickly say we did quite well this morning because we were up in Cambridge for our wedding anniversary last night, and then we mooched around Cambridge before coming home. We must have gone in 10 charity shops, and I got 2 bags of stuff. Actually, quite a bit of sealed media, ironically, and a board game, which is a really nice one, Star Wars Risk. But on the way home, we even stopped off on the way home at a charity shop, just kind of on a whim, and they had a sale on boots randomly, and we bought 14 pairs of boots at £1 each, including some Converse high tops that look hardly worn. So persistence really, and numbers. If we hadn't decided to carry on looking on the way home, we'd have missed that haul of boots.
It is exactly that, isn't it? That's where the whole "you make your own luck" idea comes from. Was that lucky that you happened to stop and they happened to have those things, or did you create that situation? And
exactly. We were tired and we'd been wandering around Cambridge all day, slightly hungover, and we said we're just going to go to this charity shop that I haven't been in.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that happens too often, in my opinion, for it to just be luck. If you can recall many situations where you went that one extra, to that one extra shop, or if you're at the boot fair, you made yourself go around that one extra time when your legs were killing you. And we can all remember those times where we've done that and we've come across something. I mean, like everyone knows Sue Ryder as a charity shop, and I don't know if you've got a Sue Ryder charity shop in your area. If you do, you'll know that they're quite pricey in most cases. And a lot of the things I have are quite pricey. And I just wanted to share this with you guys. I got this KitchenAid rotor or cylinder, like a veggie slicer set. It's basically unused. It hasn't got the instructions, but the pieces are mint. And they only priced it at £8.50. And that sells comfortably for like £50 to £60, probably more if it was new. Exactly. I mean, KitchenAid is a good brand. I mean, and that was in a charity shop. I would not have expected to find it. Sue Ryder are known more like that. They tend to price their stuff pretty high, and they're one of those shops that sells new things. Where they've got a little area where they just sell stuff specifically. So it just pays.
I'll go and grab the bags. Hold on one sec.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So £2.50.
Right, now I'm inside. That's one bag of boots.
Oh wow!
Jeez. That's the other bag of boots.
Oh my!
Mostly leather boots, and they were £1 each. And I think it was 16 pairs.
Wow, 16.
Epic haul.
I mean, so you basically paid 16 quid for all that lot there.
Yeah, and I think the Converse ones will be a good 20, 25 because they're really nice high tops.
I got some leather. Are they leather Converse? So.
Can't even find them now. Oh, here they are. So they're genuine Converse.
Wow.
But they're like this.
Nice.
Very suede So yeah, they're really cool. Shame they don't fit me. So I wear Converse all the time.
So yeah, I mean,
And then this was the board game. Quickly show you that one.
oh,
Sorry,
nice.
the light's so bad. That's the decent Star Wars whisk, but it seems to go really well. At least on Amazon it goes well.
Yeah, I mean
So,
that's exactly. I mean, I found these as well, which are really cool. Paid £3. These are like Lego system watch accessories. There's no Lego watch in there, but there's a ton of links and faces. So you know, they look pretty cool. So I should do okay with that as well. So and you know, these are all things that you find if you put in the time. You do have to put in the time. You do have to put in the effort there. And you know, I think if you do that and have the right attitude, you know, more often than not, it's not a coincidence that you see Nick every week, you know, showing videos where he's getting mountains of stock. It's not, you know, there's going to be plenty of people where Nick lives who are going to be walking around moping and saying, whenever I go to charity shops, there's nothing in there. Oh, I can never find anything. You know, they'll be there, and I'm sure there's people around here that will be doing the same thing. You know, oh, there's nothing here, blah blah blah. And you know, you have
that's
to.
That's because they see Hixxy coming out the door, and they're like, "No, Hixxy's
It's
in."
all gone, yeah.
I'm not going many charity shops, to be fair. It's very rare I go into a charity shop.
Not your cup of tea.
I used to all the time, but I don't bother anymore.
I don't find I don't personally think they're the most efficient thing to do. But if you haven't got any other alternatives, I mean, everything has its benefit. If you go to a charity shop, you know exactly what you're getting. That's a benefit. More often than not, if you're buying something, you know it's going to work as it should, because you can get you get a lot of time to check and make sure everything is what it is. Unless obviously it's a board game and they've sellotaped it, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, for example, if you're into clothes, a lot of people buy clothes from charity shops. It's not the boot fair situation where you've got 50 people crowded around you trying to huddle you to the ground to get all the clothes, and you don't have time to look around, and you miss, you miss like a fray or a hole. You know, at a charity shop, you've got the time to really look around the item and make sure it is what you think, and so that's a benefit. So you might pay up a bit more.
Yeah. Plus your electronics as well. They're worth buying from the charity shop.
Pat
tested. They're all tested.
Exactly.
You know, they're all kosher.
Yeah, they do have the advantages. It really isn't an efficient way to get stock on the whole, because it's so much legwork for quite often little rewards. I mean, today was a bit of an exception. Plus last week, because there was that sale going on, I got ridiculous amounts of media. But that was an exceptional situation. I find the boot sales much more efficient use of my time, because in a couple of hours I can get a lot of stuff. I'm in and out. Whereas charity shops, it's a lot of legwork, a lot of petrol quite often. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not very efficient, but it has its benefit, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things that you have to just, you know, use as and when needed. Like if you're walking past them, why not go into them?
Yeah. If you're in town or whatever, I'll always go in them. You know.
Yeah, it's not always worth making a specific trip to do it, but sometimes you might have to. You might find that, you know, you haven't got a boot fair running or whatever. You know, again, it's about adapting, isn't it? So it may become more of an important part of your sourcing strategy.
Yeah, there used to be some charity shops I used to go to religiously every week, every Friday. I'd set off and I'd have a route where I went. But a lot of them now, they've put the prices up, but they've got people who know what to do with the eBay and all that, and they've stuck the prices up, which is fair enough if they want to do that. I mean, they're there to make as much money as they can out of stuff. They're not there to feed our business. But it's just the way it goes. But so I just choose not to go to them. You know, it's no issue really. There's 1,000 other places I can go to. You know, it's like car boots. If there's no car boots ever again, I'm not bothered. You know, I'll go elsewhere. You've got to get into all avenues. You know, you can't just rely on one area. And charity shops, thank God to me, I don't rely on anymore, because they did take up a lot of my time. Yeah, some days I go and I do all right, but I have other places I go to now where I can just get a lot of stuff in one place and I've done with it in a few hours, you know.
Good stuff. Right, should we think about wrapping this one up, unless you guys want to do another question, or we can wrap up now?
I think we're good. A lot of people are actually helping each other out in the chat, which is really nice to see. I had a few comments about Oxfam, and even though it's perceived as expensive, sometimes you can do well. Anne Hamilton mentioned that every now and then they get some good stock from retail stores. So, you know, last winter she got herself a brand new winter coat for 15 quid. That's not bad from Oxfam. And I've got to say that's true. I've been into Oxfam and, you know, found stuff I wasn't expecting to find, probably because a lot of the other resellers would have thought, nah, Oxfam's going to be too expensive. And, you know.
Yeah, I rarely go in mine, but I happened to go in, this is a few months back now, and got that sealed Flight Sim X for 2 quid.
There you
And
go.
it's so random. I don't normally pop in there. That was a case of pure weird luck, because generally I just don't have the time to go in because it's crap. And I happened to, and there was that. And it was priced less than like a Take That CD. They had CDs at £2.99. And then this sealed Windows Flight Sim X at £1.99. It was just craziness.
Exactly. All right, I think we should call it.
Yeah. Well, cheers, guys, for chatting with me. We'll try and have a guest on next week. Another guest. I haven't lined anything up, so we'll see what I can sort out.
No worries.
And we should be back to Thursday next week, so I'm not going away anywhere.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
all
it's knocking time out of my drinking time, this.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you, everyone. See you.
Cheers, guys. See you next time.